Algebra 2, 3.5c, find point-slope equation of a line. This is lesson 5 in chapter 3, and it's our third video. We had an A and a B before it. This is 3.5c. If you haven't seen the previous videos for chapter 3, you may get confused. You can click on this video's description and go to the Algebra 2 playlist and scroll and find the ones that you need to see. If we know the slope of a line and the xy coordinates of a point on that line, we can find the equation of the line, the point-slope equation. So here it is right here, and we have our y1 and x1 values there. You can see where they're at, and we have our slope m. So here's a theorem for you. The point-slope equation. A line containing x1, y1 with a slope m has an equation. See? It's also called the point-slope of a line theorem, and we can substitute the values of our slope and ordered pair into this equation. So to find an equation of the line containing an x value of a half and a y value of a -1 with slope 5, we just plug those values into that equation, and we've got our y1 here as a -1, we got our slope 5, and we have our x value of a negative of half right here, okay? So this is going to add the opposite, isn't it? So we're going to get a +1. We're going to distribute this 5 into the parentheses and get 5x minus 5 halves. And using the addition property of equality, we can create a zero pair here and take away this 1 to isolate that y. So we're going to add a -1. So I'm going to add it as a 2 halves on this side because that's a fraction. So we're going to get y equals 5x minus 7 halves. And that's the point-slope equation of that line. See? We can check it. We can plug our values back in as -1 equals 5 times a half, and this -7 halves. And that's going to get us right back to -1 equals -1. So we can substitute our ordered pair into the equation to check it and make sure we did it right. Okay? Kind of got my 1 cut off there. There we go. All right, we can find an equation of a line with a y-intercept 4 and a slope 3/5. So that would be our rise over our run, wouldn't it? So our y-intercept 4 is the y1 value, and x is going to be at 0. So if the y-intercept is at 4, well, it's an intercept, isn't it? So that means it's on the y-axis. So we know x is at 0. So we're going to use those as our coordinates, okay, as our ordered pair. We plug in our 4 for the y1, and we plug in our 0 for the x1, and we do our equation. We have to distribute this 3/5 into the parentheses, don't we? And we get a y minus 4 equals 3/5 x minus 0. We can get rid of this negative of 4 right here by adding a 4 and creating a zero pair and isolating the y. And we do the same thing to this side, and we get 3/5 x plus 4. See? Wasn't that easy? It's not that big of a deal, right? So you can either do it with the ordered pair or you can do it with the y-intercept, okay? All right, we're going to keep talking about this, and we're going to go to 2-point equations of a line, and that's 3.6a. And remember, you can go to the description of this video and click on the Algebra 2 playlist to catch up, review, or study. And there'll be links to the Algebra 1 chapter playlists that correspond to these, okay? So I hope you're doing well. I really believe in you, and I think you can do this, and I wish you luck, okay? Keep trying. Bye.